Good evening, ladies and gents. Bride and groom. Today is a day that I have dreaded for precisely 8 years and 7 months. You see, Ushma and I, rather fittingly, met in a chemistry lesson at Clifton College back in September 2006, where hydrogen and oxygen were the only things in the room forming a covalent bond. In only a matter of weeks, we promised each other that if we hadn't found someone to marry by the time we were 40, Ushma and I would have children. But not just any children. These would be gorgeously crafted, blonde Indian children. With an exquisite fashion sense and a craving for anything Apple. iPhone Apple. Our little blonde Indians, we discussed, would be so extraordinary they'd probably be on the cover of Vogue magazine by the age of 10 and have their own designer clothesline by the age of 18. As the years rolled on, this fantasy of ours was fast approaching us. Every birthday of Ushma's that went by, I would buy her a birthday card from the wife section of Clinton's, where it would typically read, "To my darling wife." And she would do the same in reverse and buy me one from the husband section. On her 26th birthday, however, this was all to change. Watching Ushma opening a birthday card addressed to the wife was not quite the same while sat next to her new boyfriend. Despite sitting there, reminding myself that Ushma is my wife and has been long before she had met this new boyfriend, I could feel the blonde Indian fantasy fading away as she read the card. And indeed, today marks the end to this blonde Indian dream of ours. Because if you haven't yet noticed, Ushma has found the love of her life well before her 40th birthday. However, not all is lost, as I'm sure Hitesh will be delighted to hear. Boots are currently selling bleach kits for only £7 a child. Now, if any of you thought Ushma looked a little bit relieved this morning, I feel it is my duty to explain why this was the case. It wasn't because she was anxious that something would go wrong, nor was it because she was worried that Hitesh wouldn't show up. This morning, Ushma was relieved because I was wearing the correct clothes. As strange as that may seem to you now, I can assure you this relief was more than justified. As wearing the incorrect clothes would have most certainly been worse than Hitesh during a run-in. This is because, back in November 2006, when I was merely 17, only several weeks after Ushma and I had first met, Ushma invited me to her 19th birthday party. It was a fancy dress birthday party, and you could wear whatever costume you wish. Being a new friend of Ushma's, I thought it would be a nice gesture and a bit of fun to go as an Indian. On the day of her party, I returned from the costume shop and said to Ushma how I was going to be her Indian husband for the night. Ushma chuckled back excitedly as I rushed into the bathroom to get ready and change into my Indian costume. 20 minutes later, I emerged from the bathroom in a tan-coloured outfit with brown fringing dangling from its edges and a brown bandana with a feather stuck on its side. Ushma looked me up and down as her mouth dropped in horror before informing me that she was in fact not a red Indian. So thankfully, I learned my lesson early and wore my sherwani this morning and not a headdress. On a final note, I would like to say how lucky Hitish is to have Ushma as a wife. As I'm sure all of her other friends would agree, Ushma is not only loyal and caring, but she's one of those rare people in the world who always surprises you by putting in that extra effort. Also, as I'm sure everyone who's met her will agree without a doubt, Ushma is a rather unique character. She is the diva of all divas. She looks like a diva, dresses like a diva, and definitely acts like a diva. Hitish simply couldn't have chosen to marry someone more fabulous. And so without any further ado, I wish the newly wedded couple a very happy and fulfilling life together, as I'm sure Ushma will make a fabulous wife and Hitish a fine second husband.
That's it, well, ladies and gents, a big massive round of applause for all the speeches here today. Come on.